What is your American dream?
My American dream is, like I would say, any other immigrant out there. You know, they come here for an opportunity, for a better life, and yeah, just success and prosperity.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. We're live! Hello, everybody! My name is Brad Bernstein. It is Thursday, March 10th, 2022. Yo-Yo is blind today.
Yeah.
Blind, I say. Blind! How many fingers do I have up?
4.5.
2 on each hand. Yes,
4.5.
Right. How many thumbs do I got up? You're not blind.
3.
You can see. Come on, man.
Actually, you know what's so funny?
You're telling me you're blind.
You know what's so funny?
What?
For the first answer, I actually tried to get it wrong. And so that's why I was like 4. I was like, and a half. I was like, damn, why did I say it wrong?
I'm going to tell you something. That's how perfect you are. Even
when I try
to get something wrong, you're still perfect.
In my head, I was like, hon, you're supposed to get that one wrong.
I'm going to tell you something. We all walk around like Yo-Yo is so perfect in everything he does.
You guys.
Damn.
Show's over. We can all go home now.
All right. Are you able to see now?
No.
Why don't you restart your computer?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to.
That always works.
Okay, we're going to do that. Because I want to comment with y'all.
While I say hello to the squad. Squad up, Asila Stone. How are you? Susan Dixon. Squad up, Jennifer Anderson Samg. Squad up. Willie L. Williams. How are you? Magubu Miki saying, hey. Violet Blackwood, squad up. Jessica Leamy, squad up. Josephine Latham, squad up. And who else we got? Demba Sal. Dawn Harriet Carroll, the Tiger. How is everybody doing? Elizabeth Francis as well has joined us. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Hello to Susie Q Max, squad up. Earth Angel Pert. Asila Stone, I think she's double fisting. Demba Sal double fisting. Kevar Harris, squad up. So blessed. How are you, Ja Love? Anu Chandra. Jessica Leamy, double fisting. Jassiver Singh, squad up. And Elvis is in the house.
Okay,
Elvis is in the house. He has a question.
You gonna answer it?
I will answer. I would always answer Elvis's question. He's the king.
As long as he doesn't leave the building.
That's right. He's in the house. Says, hi, Yonathan and Brad. I'm trying to understand the backlog at the National Visa Center. They take 3 months to process cases, and then when DQ'd, they tell you to wait for the embassy to open up the appointment slot. Correct? That is correct. The reason is, pre-COVID, once you were DQ'd, the file got transferred to the U.S. Embassy, and it was about 6 to 8 weeks for visa appointments. Because embassies have closed down. Is my collar okay, Yo-Yo?
Yeah, let me see.
Are we okay?
Yeah.
We're okay? All right. Because the embassies have closed down because of COVID, because of backlogs, because of the Trump administration, because we had a great resignation, which also was part of the U.S. government, where people were quitting their jobs. Every time somebody quits a job, someone needs to be trained and take over. And then there's somebody at the embassy that needs to train them. So now that's 2 people off the case. Because of all of that, 3 huge things happened all at the same time. There's this huge, huge backlog, not only at, U.S. embassies, at USCIS, everywhere with immigration. People are calling me up, why is it taking 9 months for work permits? Same reason. Why is it taking X amount of years? Same reason. Same reason across the board. Except citizenship, they're really pushing citizenship. So they put a lot of people, a lot of immigration officers on citizenship. So naturalization applications are taking 6-9 months. Those are moving relatively fast. Everything else is disaster. That's what's going on there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. All right, Yo-Yo, take it away.
Absolutely.
Are you able to see, Yo-Yo?
I am able to see. I am not blind anymore, guys.
I can see!
I can see now. All right, squad. Well,
now you'll tell me, how many fingers do I have up?
5.
7.
See, I got it now. Now I'm back to normal.
Okay.
All right, squad. You already know what time it is. I need you all to please throw in your questions right now on social media comments, because for social media check-in, we need all the comments or the questions to come up a little early so we can make sure we get all the questions that you guys have, because if you put it in later on in the show, it's not guaranteed that we can answer those. All right, and also we need you guys to share across all social media platforms, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. He's going to tell us headlines, including Vice President Kamala Harris's meeting with a group of Ukrainian refugees today in Warsaw, Poland. And of course, today is Thursday, squad, so we're going to be spanning the globe for some wacky news, even one out of Ukraine, where the most unlikely of weapons took down a Russian drone.
And by the way, Yo-Yo, Elvis, who is the, I guess, is he considered like the first rock and roller? No, who is be considered the first rock
Someone
and roller?
black.
Well, that was, okay, who?
I can find out. Let's see.
Who's the first rock and roller?
If any, let's see.
I don't know enough about rock and roll. Chuck Berry?
Let's see.
Who's considered?
Yep, Chuck Berry, father of rock and roll.
Chuck Berry, father of rock and roll?
Yes.
So who's Elvis then? Elvis is what?
Copycatter.
Copycatter of rock and roll.
Absolutely. No, seriously. He took a lot of black music and it was able to capitalize off of that. But we still love you, Elvis, on YouTube.
I don't know if that's 100% right, but
I do.
I will go with it. I'm going to do my own research. But our Elvis on YouTube say we rock.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I wanted to say.
That's what you wanted. Listen,
we digress.
I'm going to keep it real. You know I'm going to keep it real.
We digress.
Chuck Berry is the father of rock and roll. It's a black artist, y'all.
Okay.
You gotta love me on the show.
Okay.
You gotta love.
Okay.
It says it. While many artists are rock pioneers, Chuck Berry is universally considered.
Elvis, then?
I told y'all already.
Elvis is who? What is Elvis considered? What is Elvis considered? What I'm going to ask Google. What is now? I got to ask Google. Mm-hmm. What is Elvis Presley considered in rock? I don't know. Is that even a question to ask? All right. According to Wikipedia, Elvis Presley is the king of rock and roll.
Huh?
King of rock and roll.
I mean,
in 1954, the performer kicked off a musical revolution by modernizing traditional genres such as blues, country, and bluegrass. I don't know.
I'm just saying, Elvis did steal the song Hound Dog from a black female blues singer.
Okay, so that's
Big
possible.
Mama Thornton.
That is possible.
So I'm just saying, I don't know if the king would be stealing music, but
Let's go back to immigration. I just wanted to say
it's not Tuesday tea.
I don't know enough about it to argue with you.
I know that you took a lot of music.
I wish I knew enough about it to argue with you, so I can't sit here and say you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just listening to you. Yeah. I just wanted to say that Elvis, in our YouTube comment, said we rocked. So I was happy that Elvis thought we rocked. And of course, you can call Spar and Bernstein 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, +1 212-227-8933. And later, I'm going to be playing a game of Bradified Marriage with Jessa Crispin and Nicolas Rodriguez, a couple who married 2 weeks after they met on Tinder and they were preparing for their USCIS Stokes interview. Ready to schmooze? Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. All right, so So, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, yo-yo, she was in Poland. She was meeting with a group of Ukrainian refugees. She said that the conversation we had this afternoon is going to help inform me, the President of the United States, and the American people about what you've experienced. She thanked the group for your willingness, your courage, and your time. We're here to support you, and you are not alone. We around the world are watching. The United Nations is now estimating more than 2 million refugees have left Ukraine in the last 2 weeks. She had a busy day today, Kamala.
Right.
She met with the Polish president in the wake of the disconnect between whether Poland was going to give MiGs, which are the Russian fighters, to Ukraine, and the United States vetoed it because apparently Poland decided to do that before getting agreement with the United States, because Poland thought they were getting more advanced planes from the United States, which was one problem, which was how is the United States going to replace the planes that Poland's giving Ukraine? The other problem is that how are you going to get the plane from Poland to Ukraine without getting...
You gave your theory.
I gave my theory, and really, if the Polish president didn't say anything, and they just kept it quiet, and they just disassembled the plane, drove it across the border, which maybe they're doing right now, then nobody would know where these planes came from.
Right.
All of a sudden, the planes are in the sky. Nobody knows where they came from. But now the Polish president opened his mouth.
And they wouldn't have seen it coming.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's what I would have done. I have no idea. I haven't read anything about that.
Yeah.
But that's how I would have handled it. But nevertheless, right now, Ukraine does not have any more planes. They're requesting air cover. They want NATO to close the skies over Ukraine. We talk about that every day. NATO does not want to encourage Russia into a world war. You know, the only issue is that nobody's scared in NATO that Russia is going to trample over all of Europe. They don't have the army to do it.
Right.
It's the nuclear weapons everyone's scared about.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to get into a situation where Putin gets put into a corner, and now all of a sudden...
That's definitely nothing that I want to see. Anybody wants to see.
Right. You know, Zelensky said Putin's bluffing. Why would he shoot off a nuclear weapon? Because then he would basically be annihilating all of Russia. But a rational person, yes. But, but I don't know how rational we are anymore here.
I feel like this whole situation is very irrational. So
the whole thing with nuclear weapons, I just saw Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
He's about to test in North Korea, another irrational person. He's about to test an intercontinental ballistic missile. And he's disguising it as a missile for space. Okay? Oh, so what happens when North Korea has an intercontinental ballistic missile? That missile could hit the United States of America.
Yeah.
And now you have a really unhinged leader over there. What do you do about that?
Yeah.
But that's for another day. We have Russia invading Ukraine at the moment. Meanwhile, the UN ambassador, the United States ambassador to the United Nations, she said in the United Nations today, it's now the U.S. position that Russia is committing war crimes in Ukraine. There's been images that came out recently of Russia bombing a hospital in Mariupol.
Whoa.
Where and it was a children's maternity ward.
What?
The reports are that at least 3 children in the hospital have died.
Wow.
Several more injured. They knocked an entire building out. Whether or not it was an intentional missile launch on a hospital or whether it was a missile that went astray, nobody knows. The fact is they're shooting missiles towards residential areas, which is in of itself a war crime. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations is calling it out. And Kamala Harris, late this afternoon, with the president of Poland, said that she believes that it should be investigated as a war crime, although the vice president hasn't come out and said war crime.
Right.
What that's going to do to stop anybody at this moment, nothing. But maybe in the future, as everything gets documented, and as eventually, at some point, if there becomes a peace, perhaps all of this documentation of war crimes may come back and haunt Russia, and especially Vladimir Putin and the people in his inner circle. It was a maternity hospital, correct?
Look at can you imagine like going to the hospital to have a child and a missile hits? Like what?
The United Kingdom has brought out some secret documentation from, I guess, their spy agency that Russia is now getting ready to use chemical weapons in the Ukraine, that they have shipped chemical weapons to the border between Russia and Ukraine. If this is in fact true, and if Putin decides to use chemical weapons, which is illegal to use, it's been illegal since the end of World War I, and he starts bringing in chemical weapons into the war, then the UK foreign minister said that would change the dynamic, and perhaps NATO at that point would have to get involved, because the use of chemical weapons would be a red line that perhaps NATO would not allow Russia to cross. President Biden has not come out, the United States has not come out and said that is a red line. They haven't really come out and said anything about the chemical weapons. It was something that came out of the UK right now. What's interesting is when the UK came out and said that today, Russia is sending out false information that their Russian soldiers came across 2 labs in Ukraine that are being funded by the United States. They claim they have papers from those labs, and that United States was secretly funding chemical weapon research in Ukraine. So the
so
thing,
they're just throwing out news.
Well, the thing is that Russia, I believe this, and if you believe that the United States would not, why would the United States be funding chemical weapons research into Ukraine when they're not even part of our alliance? So you got to believe that Russia uses all of these things as a pretext to either continue to fight or to say, hey, now we can use perhaps chemical weapons too, which, now that I'm thinking about it, is probably why the UK foreign minister came out with this statement later in the afternoon today, saying, we believe that Russia's going to use chemical weapons. Across Russia, that is on the daily news. So most Russians believe the United States was funding chemical weapons research in Ukraine. It's just the disinformation, that goes around is you don't know ultimately, what's true and what's not true. What else is happening? Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, from the United States point of view, he said that Russia is already strategically defeated. I believe that. I said that yesterday. Blinken was talking to a press conference with the UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. Liz Truss was the woman who said that Russia was moving chemical weapons towards the border. They both pledged to keep up security and humanitarian assistance to Ukraine. Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, said, I'm absolutely convinced that Putin will fail. Russia will suffer strategic defeat, no matter what short-term tactical gains it may make in Ukraine. We've already seen that Russia has failed in its chief objective. It's not able to hold Ukraine. It's not going to be able to hold Ukraine in the long term. And you know what? This is something I talked about all week. What's Russia going to do once they overtake all these cities?
Right.
Okay, they can't police 44 million people
who don't want them there.
So this is what Anthony Blinken's saying.
That's what I said. It's literally gonna be a constant war. You're gonna have war in that country.
And the president of Poland came out today with Kamala Harris and said that he believed that even if peace were declared tomorrow, that sanctions should continue against Russia for the next 15 to 20 years.
Whoa.
So,
what do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know what I feel about that. I want to see the war end first, and then let's see what's going on. There's a very well-known oligarch from Russia, Roman Abramovich. He's very close to Putin. I don't know, what is he worth, 20 billion, 40 billion, 100 billion dollars, whatever the man's worth. He bought Chelsea soccer team. He has now been sanctioned in the UK, and the Chelsea soccer team, which is one of the most famous sports teams in the world,
Can't play?
they can play, but they can't sell any future tickets. They can't sell any merchandise. He can't. Abramovich was trying to sell the team before he got sanctioned. So now nobody.
Can't even.
Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen with this team that was worth $2.5 billion?
Wow.
Burger King is pulled out of Russia. We talked about yesterday cancel culture. Well, it's continuing. Zara pulled out of Russia. Sony, Warner Brothers. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Levi's, can't even buy a pair of Levi's now in Russia.
I see Zara, L'Oreal, Mothercare, Heineken, Pepsi, IKEA, H&M, ASOS, Boohoo, which I buy a lot of clothes from, Nike, Burberry, Universal Music Group, that's UMG, Spotify, Netflix, Sony, Warner Brothers, Disney, FIFA, UEFA, Formula One, the International Tennis Federation, Winter Paralympics, World Athletics Series, and the International Chess Federation, which is a lot in a day. Like, it's already doubled, tripled almost.
Goldman Sachs, the largest investment bank in the United States, private investment bank in the United States,
on happening.
Has pulled out of Russia. JP Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the United States, is unwinding its Russian business. So it just goes on
Good.
and on
Good.
and on and on.
And
and
I
on.
like this. This is us coming together. And I don't know if I can say us, but at least the world coming together to,
See, Putin
wasn't expecting
on
this.
it.
And I like that.
Putin was not banking on cancel culture.
I like that.
And
this is the first time I actually like cancel culture.
And it's all from social media.
Yeah.
And they're calling this war the first TikTok war.
Yeah.
Because most people are getting real-time footage from TikTok.
Yeah.
So, real people with real phones showing exactly what's going on. A Ukrainian by the name of Valeria Shashanak. She is in war-torn Chernihiv, Ukraine. And she's taking shelter in an underground bunker with her mother, father, and dog, Tori, in this northern Ukrainian city. Many of her close friends have fled. But instead of wallowing in the destruction, I showed you her video.
Yeah, you showed me that. And I saw it before, too.
Yeah, Shashanak has turned the war into art. In this video that made her famous, Shashanak dances to Shayla Luna with the caption, "My typical day in a bomb shelter." Do we have the video to watch? Okay. She uses a heat gun with a hairdryer as her dog hides under a blanket. Her mother cooks over a pot on the floor. In another video, captioned, the caption says, "Today Putin destroyed one of the old buildings in my city. It was a cinema that survived World War II. Windows flew out from the force of impact in neighboring houses." And this is happening all over TikTok,
Look at that.
Yeah, all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's a social media war. And the war is being done by individuals, and cancel culture is coming into play.
Yeah.
And Putin never thought this would happen in a million years. Never was taken into account. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives voted last night to pass their annual budget. Included is $13.6 billion in aid for Ukraine. What was not included is President Biden's COVID relief package. They couldn't agree on how much to spend on COVID relief. So his testing and purchases of viral pills, we don't know how much has already been purchased through prior budget resolutions, but there is going to be no additional free pills and testing in the future. How much has already been purchased and how long that's going to last, we don't know. Also included in the budget is Vawa Reauthorization. This year, it was not very politically fraught. If you remember in years past, we didn't know whether Vawa would pass or not. It has passed. It will continue. And there was no real political gamesmanship on Vawa this year. Kind of everybody kind of just agreed on continuing it. So that was good.
That'd be wild if they discontinued
Vawa. It was a couple years ago. I don't remember which year.
Yeah.
We said, "Oh my God, we don't know if it was going to continue or not." And I don't know what we're entering to a world of cryptocurrency. I was talking to you about that the other day too, off the air. Mm-hmm. Well, President Biden has signed an executive order to explore establishing a U.S. digital dollar akin to a Bitcoin cryptocurrency, but it'll be pinned to the dollar. So there may be a U.S. dollar crypto. In January, the Fed released a long-awaited report on central bank digital currencies, which it said was intended to generate debate. I mean, the reality is that the crypto market is completely, at this point, unregulated. And at some point, the U.S. government is going to regulate all of this, because the U.S. government always puts their hand in everything.
Right.
So I am telling you, it will also. So the wild, wild west days of Bitcoin, this is the first step in probably, not saying Bitcoin's not going to exist, and not saying it's not going to be useful, just saying the wild, wild west days of the U.S. government doesn't know what the heck's going on with Bitcoin are now officially over. They are starting to look at all of it. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said in a statement that this supports an approach that will support responsible innovation that could result in substantial benefits for the nation, consumers, and businesses. She said it would also address risks related to illicit finance, protecting consumers and investors, preventing threats to the financial system and broader economy. Senior Biden administration officials said this is the first time the federal government has taken a holistic approach to assessing the possibility of a centralized digital currency, connecting both government, bank institutions, and departments and agencies focused on security considerations to mitigate risk. All of that mumbo jumbo is U.S. government sticking their hands in this now.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. And
great way to break it down.
That's basically it. All right. Before it was the Wild West, the U.S. was under the Trump administration. They didn't touch Bitcoin. It was just crazy. Now, today, for the first time, they're going to start the regulatory process of regulating it.
Okay.
Potential new COVID variant, by the way, combines Delta and Omicron. They're calling it Deltacron. The Deltacron is on its way, yo-yo. We thought because the Ukraine-Russia war came that COVID was over.
Going like chill out.
That COVID would chill out. It was taking a break. I thought COVID was taking a break until the war in Ukraine was over.
That's just because we don't hear as much about it.
Yeah, exactly, because they're not talking about it.
Listen, out of sight, out of mind.
That's right. So I thought COVID's like, all right, the world's got enough problems. We'll just take a break.
Right.
But apparently that's not the case. Deltacron is on its way. The World Health Organization said yesterday that the new combination Deltacron has been detected in none other than France.
Oh, gosh.
It's always France. We're in UK. It's also been found in the United States.
I was about to say, I thought I heard about this like the beginning of the year that, it was that they were trying to combine Delta and Omicron.
The scientists are saying no one needs to worry about this variant yet until the Russia-Ukraine war is over. Then we'll start worrying about it.
Because Corona definitely doesn't want to fight for the attention.
No, they're like, we're not going to win. You're like, it's smart, this virus. And travel customs have changed a lot. Did you notice that in this pandemic? According to Warren Jeffrey, the Dean of International Education at Endicott College, he says societal norms and customs around greetings have been turned on their head. Mahmoud Khan, a Virginia Tech hospitality and tourism professor, says the pandemic has impacted shaking hands, hugging, kissing. I don't like to shake hands as much anymore. I give fist bumps, I give elbow bumps.
That's true.
But I don't really shake hands.
I know a lot of people that...
Do you feel uncomfortable shaking hands?
I think about it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think twice.
Before, I was always a friendly guy. Hey.
I definitely think, and
But
then
I
I'm
don't-
like, oh.
I don't stick my hand out to shake people's hands anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I just, and not that I think I'm going to get sick now, but it's just I've gotten used to it. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, this virus made me less friendly.
Yeah.
Really, I don't
Yeah.
hug people anymore.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah. Not that I was going around hugging people before. It's not like
You
I'm-
wasn't
it's not
doing
like
this
it's not- it's-
you wasn't
it's
doing
not
this to
like-
strangers on the street?
It's not like I'm Andrew Cuomo or anything, but I was a friendly person.
Yeah.
Emily Monaco, the host of Navigating the French podcast, says one of the casualties of the pandemic is la bise, the customary cheek kisses. You know, like the French kiss when they go mwah mwah and they go on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that anymore.
I mean, you could do that air kiss.
Yeah, they're not doing that anymore. But that's fake, the air kiss. And Franco Moso, who lives in San Jose, Costa Rica, says things have changed in Central America too. He says in Costa Rica, we usually meet and greet with a hug or a kiss on the cheek. Nowadays, you can only do this in your close bubbles, and nobody will even try it with a stranger. And even if they do, it's completely okay to say no. And when people say no, no one gets insulted that you don't want to shake their hand anymore.
I wonder how that is in Ethiopia, because that is our way of greeting somebody. You kiss them on the cheek, and the longer you do it, the more you go side to side to side. It's like it's a term of endearment. It's like, I love you so much. I missed you. So I could see my culture taking it. Some type of way if an older lady comes in to kiss you and you're like, oh no,
Well,
COVID, baby, COVID.
It depends on how ingrained they were to the fear of COVID in.
Right, and I don't think they really
they were not ingrained to
I don't
fear
think
it.
so.
Not like we were here in the United States.
No, exactly.
Right.
So I want to ask some of my family members. I'm going to ask some of them and come
report.
back. Yeah, because I really actually want to know that, because I didn't know that this was happening. Because that's deep. Like, that's your culture. You know that, for them to go and do that, and for people to not do that as much now because of COVID, I can't see that happening in Ethiopia, but I'm about to ask. I'm going to find out for y'all.
I'm missing a card here.
What are you looking for?
I'm missing a card. Let's see. Well, hopefully it's here somewhere. Let's see. Wa la 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 la. Here it is. I had it backwards.
All right.
Now I can continue, Yo-Yo.
Go ahead.
All right, so ready to do some wacky news?
Oh, that's what you was looking for.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was looking for the wacky news.
Yes,
I'm like, I don't have any wacky news.
Let's get wacky.
I was completely wacky over here.
I thought you were looking.
No, all the cards were shuffled up.
Oh, I thought you were looking for like the last.
Now I found them. I'm like, for a second, I'm like, maybe there's no wacky today.
But that's pretty wacky.
Yes,
That's
well,
pretty
it is
wacky
wacky.
right there.
Because as I'm doing it, usually I'll show you what happened. Okay.
You put that on the side.
Usually I go boom because I get angry thinking about the news and I go boom.
But you just slap that.
But I slap down these cards because I get angry, so they stay in order.
Gotcha.
But today I was enjoying, even though I was talking about a war, which is not pleasant, I was enjoying my conversation with you. So it was all getting messed up over here. I didn't know. I got completely confused where all the
all
cards
good.
were. So now we're okay now.
Yes, we good.
Yeah, we're good now. So, in Ukraine, you talked about this. A woman took down a drone with a can of tomatoes. Yes. This was a very brave woman. Her name is Lyubov Sebluska. She's an advisor to the Ukrainian government. She was sitting on her balcony in Kiev, and she heard a little sound, a zzz, going by. She thought maybe it was like a dying bird, but it turned out to be a Russian drone.
Wow.
It was flying right in front of her balcony where her and her husband were sitting out on the balcony. She thought maybe it had a gun to it and it was going to kill her.
Yeah.
So she ran inside into her refrigerator and found the first thing. The reports on the news was it was a can of pickles, but it was really a can of tomatoes.
Wow.
She took the can of tomatoes, she threw it at the drone, knocked the drone in half.
First try?
On the first try, the drone fell to the ground, and she took out a Russian drone with a can of tomatoes.
That's actually brilliant.
Yes.
I love that.
She said she was afraid. She thought it was going to start firing at me. But what a pity for those tomatoes. Those were my favorite. So she's upset that she...
I would be too.
That, maybe...
Is that her?
That's her. Yeah. Now the jar came crashing down. Her and her husband then went and trampled the wreckage, disposing.
I'd have been jumping.
You know,
Yeah.
she did, well, you don't know if it's like the Terminator and then comes back. And then number two,
Make sure the camera is
make sure the cameras doesn't work. She dismembered it and put it in like 5 different places because she didn't want any Russians to come by and try to pick it up and use it for whatever reason. So she dismembered it and put it in all different places.
Wow.
She says, I'm not going anywhere from Kiev. I decided so instantly. This is my home. This is my land. I will stand, nor fight, and fight some more. I'll do all that is necessary. That's why Russia hasn't taken over any cities. Almost all the Ukrainians, they're staying put. I mean, 2 million women and children left, but for the most part,
that's actually
part, they're all staying and fighting.
Yeah.
And I don't think Putin was
expecting that.
And if the world, Jonathan, doesn't have enough problems with Chromatron, what's the new variant?
Deltacron.
Deltacron. We don't have enough problems with Deltacron. Russia invaded Ukraine. Putin's threatening nuclear war. Kim Jong-un is building an intercontinental ballistic missile. Gas is $6 and going up. If the world doesn't have enough problems, yo-yo.
What's the last one?
We're now worried that an evil demon has been unlocked from a rock he was kept in jail there for 1,000 years. There is a stone in Japan called the Killing Stone, and legend has it that the Killing Stone, it was this very famous stone in Japan, legend has it that this stone kept a malevolent spirit imprisoned for over 1,000 years. But just recently, the rock split in half. Now, people are terrified that the demon has escaped. Let me tell you about this demon.
Okay.
Japanese legend has it that anyone who comes into contact with this rock is going to die. According to mythology, the volcanic rock, officially called Seshu Seki, is home to Tamamo no Me, a.k.a. the nine-tailed fox. The nine-tailed fox has been...
That's pretty.
He ain't pretty. He's a demon, yo-yo.
Oh, no.
All right?
I don't like it.
You come into contact with that nine-tailed fox, you're a dead man. A dead man, okay? You can't touch the nine-tailed fox. He's a demon. He was locked in this rock. And then sometime recently, someone noticed the rock split in half.
Oh.
After 1,000 years that this demon was locked in there.
That's deep.
That is deep. This rock is located...
Who took this picture? Are they still alive?
This is the rock.
Who took the picture? They said if anybody could...
I don't know. But it's located in the mountainous northern region of Tochigi near Tokyo. Now everybody is in fear. Some speculate that the evil spirit may have been resurrected to wreak havoc once again. Others have commented saying, here I thought 2022 couldn't get worse. Now a furious Japanese spirit is freed from its killing stone. It's a fox with 9 tails. And he's on the run.
Imagine if this happened in January of 2020. Then I would be freaked out when coronavirus started. It's like, it is the demon, y'all. It's the demon.
I don't know. Now, another person joked that my guess is the demon is going to look around to 2022 and want to come back. And want to come back another millennium. He's going back into his rock.
Right. He's like, it's already a lot going on there. They don't need my help. Damn.
Now, local reports suggest the rock actually started cracking a couple of years ago. It's thought rainwater may have got inside, causing the damage. Yeah, that's what the scientists say. What I say is that the fox is on the loose.
Oh, no.
We don't have enough problems now. We got to deal with the Japanese demon.
I don't want that. No.
Oh, my God.
And I thought it looked cute.
No, it's not cute. And if you wanted to go to the smallest movie theater in the world, head no further than Ontario, Canada. The 13-seat UPI.com just got crowned by the Guinness Book of World Records as the smallest movie theater in the world, seating 13 people. Lee Coney, the theater's owner and operator, said I thought a 13-seat theater would be more profitable. No, he didn't say that.
I was about to say, what?
Who in the world would open up a 13-seat movie theater and think they're going to make any money?
How big is the screen?
I don't know. He said the site formerly was a gallery. I was just like, what kind of businessman is this?
Right.
He said the site formerly was a gallery and gift shop called Meet Your Maker, and the micro cinema began as a pull-down screen and some folding chairs to show some local filmmakers' work. We started working with local filmmakers doing little competitions around town, and we thought, well, how great would it be if we build a screening room permanently? So Cody said the theater's focus is hosting small parties because of the COVID pandemic. Now I understand.
I actually love that.
Now I actually understand.
I would rent that out for my friends.
Yeah, I understand now. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking like they're showing like, I don't know.
Like Batman,
right, the Batman. Sorry, sold out.
I mean, for like celebrities, that would be pretty awesome.
Or maybe it's like so far up north in Canada, like the entire town is 30 people.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
but now I understand. The theater was officially awarded the Guinness World Record for smallest purpose-built cinema when the facility was officially measured at 175 square feet.
Pretty awesome.
That's smaller than our studio, Yo-Yo.
Oh, wow. I mean...
And finally, we're going to go to Denver. I don't know if this is wacky or just macabre.
All right.
Because it's 2022. It's Macabre Thursday. Someone stole a box of disembodied human heads. Intended for medical research, but now these heads are gone missing. Denver police are investigating after they received a report on March 3rd about a theft from a freight company truck. The thieves must have gotten the shock of their lives when they stole the truck thinking there was some items in there they could sell, and they open it up and there's this dead head.
Oh my God.
That was being used for medical research.
Yo, I would flip out.
I would be like, that Japanese demon.
Right.
That Japanese demon came for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, police say an unknown suspect or suspects stole the truck with the boxes full of human heads. It happened about a week ago. They're still looking for the head robbers. The head robber.
Oh, I know they was mad.
You know, like when the police get them, they're like, all right, who's the head robber here? Are you talking about who's in charge? Or who took the heads?
Who took the heads? Ooh.
It's unclear if the thief knew the box had human heads, but cops say it's a label that says human heads.
That is wild.
Case is bizarre. So far, no arrests. If anybody comes across a truck full of human heads, the Denver police are asking you to call them and on their tip hotline, 720-913-2000. Let them know where you spotted these human heads.
Why would they still have the truck? I would have just left the truck and been like, all right, let's go try something else. Like what?
They still got the truck, driving around with the heads. They stole the box. They left the truck and stole the heads.
They stole the box from
maybe,
the truck.
Maybe it was people who... I think it has something to do with that Japanese demon, personally. I think that it's a coincidence. All right. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I was going to say not a coincidence.
All right. It's TikTok time, Yo-Yo, where I answer a question regarding regarding DACA and having a DUI. Let's watch. No, sorry, you probably did not get deported for a DUI. If you're a DACA applicant, a DUI is a significant misdemeanor which prevents you from renewing your DACA or getting it in the first place. Most likely it sounds like it prevented you from renewing your DACA because you had a significant misdemeanor, which is the DUI. If you can't renew your DACA because you have a significant misdemeanor, guess what? You're undocumented in America. The reason why you have DACA is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, meaning they are going to defer your deportation. But because you had a DUI, you could not get into the program. You became undocumented. You got deported for being undocumented. not for DUI. DUI is not a deportable offense, but it prevented you from getting in the DACA program. That's probably what happened. Sounds like you need a good lawyer. It's meat and potatoes time, Yo-Yo. Let's do it. All right, Jason and Peekskill.
Hey, good night, Brad. How you doing?
Good night. How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to get in your show very long time, man.
All right. Well, you've been waiting a long time, so you finally got smart and called early.
Right. Keep up the good work. What you and your team doing, man?
Thank you. Thank you. What's up?
Yeah, I have a question. My wife's sponsoring for my 3 kids back home in Jamaica. But what happened, we put in our paper from 2016. But I did submit the paper last year. So we get the I-130 approved. So we get the visa. It go to the National Visa Center now. So they have the case. So the lawyer is telling me that now my oldest son, who over 21, he's not going to come. Not now. So.
All right. So who you filed, you're a citizen.
No, my wife do the sponsoring for my kids then.
Your wife's a citizen?
Yes.
Okay, how old was your child when you married your wife?
Okay, he was 17 plus.
And your wife filed a visa petition for him when?
We do the I-130 last year.
Before he was 21?
No, he was over 21 at that time, yes.
Why did you file the I-130 after he was 21?
Oh, well, we didn't know that.
Unfortunately, then you lost out. You had to have filed the I-130 before he's 21. So because of that, unfortunately, he's going to wait about 5 years. The most important thing is to get the application in before the child turns 21. And there's nothing anyone can do about it, unfortunately, at this point.
Okay, but the other two are coming.
They will come, yes. Even if they turn 21, they will come because their application was filed before they were 21 by a U.S. citizen parent.
Okay, so how long do it take to get them here now? Like, or the case gone over to the National Visa Center?
Probably less than a year, depending on how quick you move through the National Visa Center.
Okay, Brad. Right. Okay.
Okay, hang on.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about the older one, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Maria in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. My name is Madeira. I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I am a green card holder, and I'm married, but my husband is out of status. Can I put his paper in before I get my citizen?
You can, but it's not going to get him anything until you're a citizen. So you would put in an I-130 visa petition for him. Are you close to being a citizen?
I am about to put it in.
You're about to file? Well, okay. So the bottom line is this. Assuming you're going to become a citizen, he's going to get his green card whether you wait to file after you're a citizen or before you file and you're a citizen. He's going to get his green card on the same day. Because the reality is, right now, you would file an I-130 visa petition. Once you become a citizen, you would upgrade the petition and file as adjustment. Or you can just file the visa petition and the adjustment all at one time once you're a citizen. The only reason why you would file an I-130 visa petition now is if you're not going to be a citizen for years down the line, because then your husband doesn't want to wait for your citizenship in 3, 4, 5 years from now. So then at that point, you would file an I-130 visa petition. He would do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. But since you're filing citizenship, it really doesn't matter. Just be a citizen as quickly as possible and then put in the adjustment.
Would he be getting any paper if I do that?
He would get nothing if you file
like a receipt or anything?
He would get nothing if you file for him now, other than a receipt that an application's filed. So maybe that makes him feel good that something's filed, but it doesn't make him legal. It doesn't give him any immigration benefits. What gives him the immigration benefits is the adjustment of status, which you do after you become a citizen. That's where it gets him his work permit and his travel permission and everything.
Okay.
All right. I mean, the reality is this. I mean, you could if you wanted to. It's not going to make any difference.
No implications, right?
Yeah. No implications, positive or negative.
Thank you, Brad.
Let's go to Sharon in Montego Bay. Sharon in Montego Bay. How are you, Sharon?
I'm good, Brad. How are you
Good.
doing?
What's going on?
I'm wondering, the immigration, they asked me for everything. I sent in everything from last year, June, and I don't hear anything. I'm wondering what is going on.
What are you doing with immigration?
My filing, my dad filed for me from 2008.
Okay. And
Yes.
when you said you put into immigration, what did you put into immigration?
I send in everything. The last thing
I
I
don't know what
send
you
in,
mean by, what is sent in everything? I don't know what that means.
I send in my divorce paper. I send in my police record.
I don't know what you're doing. Did your dad file a visa petition for you?
Yes, he did.
Did it get approved?
Yes, he did.
Did it get to the National Visa Center?
Yes.
Okay, and you're talking about now you went for an interview at the U.S. Embassy. Is that what you're referring to?
No, we don't get a.
So who are you sending all these documents to?
To the immigration hacks.
There's no immigration to the National Visa Center?
Yes, the National Visa Center.
So
yes,
you
they
sent
asked
all
us
these
for those.
documentation. How did you send it?
My brother. He sent in all of those things.
All right. So what is your question for me?
I'm just wondering why it's taking so
I don't
long.
even know if your brother did it right.
Okay.
I have no idea. Why is it taking so long? Okay. The only thing you can tell me is a vague statement of, we sent some documents. How can I possibly help you? What I think, if your dad filed for you in 2008, are you single?
Yes, I'm single now.
If your dad filed for you in 2008, you should have had your green card 5 years ago. So to me, if I had to take a guess in the bundle of possibilities, of all of the possibilities of what's going on, if I had to take a guess, somebody's screwing it up on your side.
Wow.
All right, hold on. I think you need help. Let's go to Simone in Brooklyn.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Brad, I called you yesterday about the service request that my mom put in on the startup processing time yesterday. So when you hang up yesterday, I told my mom what you said, and I asked her to go and get the receipt thing, because remember they send us back in the email that they are currently working on form for I-130 classification F31, right?
Right, and you're an F1.
Right. So I told her, let's find the receipt and let's check it out. So on the receipt, Brad, it says preference classification 201 INA adult child of U.S. citizen. What's that?
It said, say it again? You cut off.
Preference classification under that heading.
Yes.
It says 201 A3 INA adult child of U.S. citizen.
A3 would be the F3 category. They have you as married. So you have to write immigration now and say my classification is incorrect. I'm unmarried.
Yeah, and
they have you as a married child. That's why.
So who made that error? Them or
I don't know. I didn't fill out the forms. Either whoever filled out the form, maybe they made an error, or you made an error. I don't know. But
no, I didn't.
Whoever filled out the forms made the error, or whoever inputted the data in immigration made the error. I don't know, but it's easily fixable. You can write that. You can write that.
Do you get a choice to choose the category, or the immigration choose the category?
On the application,
the I-30, I-130.
On the I-130, you either indicate you're married or you're single.
Right.
So that's the classification.
Oh, I didn't choose. I had a lawyer fill out the form for me.
I don't know. But even if the lawyer filled out the forms right, your lawyer should have realized that they have you in the wrong classification. And your lawyer now needs to write a letter to advise them.
Oh, I don't have that law. When he did the paperwork, he filled out the paperwork for us, but he said he wasn't going to finish the case because he's going to retire in a year or two.
Then you need a new lawyer. Hold on one second.
All right, so he's retired. He just put the paperwork in.
So, Simone, you need a new lawyer then. So I've told you what to do.
So for the service request that they email back
Simone,
them?
listen to me. I told you what to do. You have to write the Immigration Service and tell them you're in the wrong classification. Fix it. I'm unmarried. Here's evidence that I am unmarried. I don't know why you think I'm married. And if you're not sure what to do about it, I said, go to your lawyer, and you said he's retired. So then I said, you need a new lawyer.
Okay, so where do I send the evidence? Do I email it or?
You send a letter to the Immigration Service where you received your receipt notice with your case number.
Okay. Okay, so that address is the one on the bottom of.
If you're going to get this all done, good luck to you. Hold on. I don't know how she thinks she's going to get this done. Terry in the Bronx.
Hi, good evening, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you. All right, so my question is, I work as a home health aide, and my employer, we have a good relationship. I want to know if she can petition for me. She has a home health aide agency.
Have you overstayed your time here in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had anything filed with immigration before?
No.
When did you come to the U.S.?
In 2016.
How old are you?
35.
Where's your mom and dad?
My dad is in Jamaica. My mom passed.
Did either of them ever try to get a green card?
No.
Did your aunts or uncles ever try to apply for your mother or father back in the day?
No.
Okay. So the answer is no. They can't sponsor you, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're doing a job sponsorship now, you got to work backwards. And you, in other words, you don't say, can they sponsor me? What you say is, if I get sponsored a job, can I get a green card? And there's only 2 places in the world you can get a green card. Where are you from?
Jamaica.
2 places in the world you can get a green card. You're living in the Bronx now, it would be New York City, or it'd be Kingston, Jamaica, where you originally came from. In order to get your green card through a job sponsorship in New York City, if you overstayed your time, or in any city in the United States, and you overstayed your time by more than 180 days, you need to be 245I eligible, which means that somebody filed for you or your parents before 2001. If that's not the case, you can't adjust your status here through a job sponsorship. And so then that leaves you to go back to Kingston, Jamaica for your green card. Now, the law says if you overstayed your time by more than 1 year and you go back to Kingston, Jamaica to pick up your green card, you can't come back for 10 years. So then you say, okay, you need a provisional waiver. The only way to get a provisional waiver is a spouse or parents. If you had a spouse, you just adjust your status. You wouldn't need to do a job sponsorship. So I know you have no spouse. And then I asked where your parents are. One's in Jamaica and one passed. So you can't get a provisional waiver. So now in my head, even if you were to get sponsored in a job, you can't adjust your status here. And if you go home, you're stuck for 10 years, which leads to my answer, no, you can't get sponsored in a job, unfortunately.
So I have to be married. That's it.
Correct.
Okay, then. Thank you, Brad.
All right. Let's go to Megan in Bridgeport.
Hi, good morning, Brad. Good afternoon, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm calling on behalf of my husband's case. So he got denied 3 times for his citizenship. And this is the 3rd time we put it in. Is it a good for record for bad
Good moral character he has to prove. Why was he denied in the past?
It's record in Virginia. It was for driving reckless and child endangerment, and possession.
So he was probably driving way above the speed limit with a child in the car. When did this happen?
This happened in 2016, around 16, 17.
And what happened with the case?
The case, it was charged with a felony, and then it dropped from a felony to a misdemeanor. And then he spent 1 night in jail the first time he got arrested, and then another night in jail the ending of the case.
And when did the case end?
In 2 years ago.
Okay.
And he was off probation 2 years ago. That's why we wait to redo the citizenship now.
All right. So are you a citizen yourself?
No.
Okay. So you cannot prove good moral character when you're on probation. So probation ended 2 years ago.
Yes.
So therefore, Frank, you got to wait 4 years, 9 months, and 3 days from the end of probation, assuming he has a clean record for him to file citizenship.
And so with the citizenship being denied now, we just have to wait.
You have to wait look at the date probation ended, and then 4 years, 9 months, and 3 days after the end of probation. That is the only time you can file for citizenship and be sure that he will get through.
Okay, so it makes no sense. We go ahead and try to fight.
No, wait the 4 years, 9 months, and 3 days from the end of. You got to look at the calendar and count the days.
And another question with that, is it a smart idea for him to petition for me now?
Yes, because who knows when he'll be a citizen. So he could always put in a petition for you, and if you're not eligible to adjust, you could always do a provisional waiver. Who knows what the laws will be in 2-3 years when you become eligible for your green card. Maybe by that time you'll say, I'll wait for his citizenship. Maybe you'll do the provisional waiver. Maybe there'll be other laws. He should file the I-130 for you now.
And how long is the petition going to take?
At least 2 to 3 years probably.
For it to get approved?
Yeah, they're taking a long time. But just put it in now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck. All right, let's go to Ashley in South Haven, Mississippi, or Missouri. Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Brad. I'm good. I'm actually from Sri Lanka.
Oh, from Sri Lanka. Where are you, Mississippi or Missouri?
Southern Mississippi.
Mississippi, okay.
Yeah, Mississippi.
Okay.
Mr. Brad, I want to ask you is now, I'm a green card holder and I sponsored my 2 daughters. I sponsored my older daughter when she was 20 and my small daughter, she was 11. And now everything is fine and now they are asking for a co-sponsor. So my son is signing as a co-sponsor. What I want to ask you is, my daughter came in 2013, 14 we visited, and 2017 we came and we overstayed. My older daughter stayed for 14, overstayed for 14 months and went back.
How old was she when she returned?
When she returned, she was about, 18.
So she returned...
18? She visited twice in 2013.
Okay.
We visited.
If she overstayed under the age of 18, she has no bar. If she overstayed...
No, she was over 18 then, I think.
When did she leave? At what age?
She left when she left about almost now 3 years ago.
I don't know how old your daughter is. How old was your daughter when she left the United States of America?
She would have been 20.
20. So if she was 20, she has a 10-year bar if she overstayed by 14 months. So she needs a waiver.
Okay. Yes, now she's in Sri Lanka. She's living in Sri Lanka.
Okay, she needs a waiver.
She needs a waiver. Now, I always go through your program.
Right.
In one program, you said, how can I apply for a non-immigration waiver?
You would be applying for an immigrant waiver if you are applying for her green card. It would be an immigrant waiver. So she would go... She would go for her interview, be denied, and then she would file the 601 waiver.
601 waiver. So can I get her on a visiting visa while this is going on?
No, they're never going to give her a visitor's visa again for 2 reasons. One, she already overstayed on her visa, so they're not going to give her a second chance. And 2, you've shown an immigrant intent for her to get a green card, so they're not going to believe that she's coming to visit.
Okay.
So you got to finish your case, she'll be denied, and then do the waiver, and it sounds like you need some help.
Okay. Second one is now, if I take my daughter back to Sri Lanka, will the visa be denied? She's only 14 now.
No.
It will never be denied, right?
No, because she's under 18.
Okay. Only those are the 2 questions.
Correct.
I always follow your show.
Oh, thank you very much.
Every show I never miss. Thank you so much, Mr. Braid.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless you. Okay, bye. Okay.
All right, let's go to Olu in Houston. Olu.
Hi,
how are you?
How you doing, bro?
Good. What's going on?
I'm all right. Thank you. I love your show, and I've been really enjoying it. Anyway, I have a quick question. I was in an immigration proceeding sometime 2018. Then I filed my I-48, I-130, and I-79. I mean, for work permit, I filed everything once. So I'm not sure because recently I was sent a letter for interview, which is on March 28th. So I'm wondering, will this interview hold because I'm in a court proceeding?
I don't understand. You're going for an interview for an adjustment, and why do you think it's going to have a problem?
Actually, I was in immigration proceeding in 2018. I don't have any issue. I was just picked from my house for no reason. So
why would immigration come and pick you out of your house for no reason? They came for a reason.
I don't know. Since today, I don't know. That was during Trump era.
And they didn't do anything with you, and they just let you stay here?
They took me to their detention, and after some time, I got bonded out.
Okay, then you were put in deportation. Did you have to see an immigration judge?
Yes, but my court cases have been postponed several times, and the next court case now is in August. But now USCIS sent me a letter for interview.
So you're married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
So this interview is to determine if you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse.
Okay.
They're going to give you most likely a Stokes interview where they separate you into two different rooms. You got to pass that interview, prove it's a real marriage, and then take that approval notice to the judge and say, I want to adjust my status. If immigration denies you and says it's not a good marriage, you're going to be in trouble before the judge. They may want to deport you. So you got to make sure you pass this interview and you're prepared for it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So, because I'm sorry to say, one of my friends, which happened to have my type of case, went for interview today in Oklahoma, and the officer, I guess, told him his case is in the court jurisdiction, so he wasn't interviewed.
That's a different situation. That means he filed a whole adjustment application with Oklahoma. That's a completely different situation.
I find that
I don't know what you did then, sir, but if you're in removal, what you should have done is file a bona fide I-130 marriage case.
I did that.
Then you're getting a Stokes interview.
Okay.
And if you don't know what you did, you better get a second opinion from a lawyer. Hold on. It's amazing. People don't know what they did. They explain to me things that make no sense, and then expect me to figure it all out and then tell them exactly what they need to do. And then I say, sir, it sounds like you need a lawyer. Okay, I don't need you. Okay.
Sounds like they do need you.
Janice in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, quick question. I have a nephew. I'm from Jamaica. I have a nephew over there. My brother passed away 2 years ago. I just wanted to find out if there's any way I could get my nephew here.
How old is he?
He's 19.
Too old for an orphan petition. Does he have a visa or anything?
He does have a visa, yes.
Okay. So, if he were to come visit his aunt,
right?
Hypothetically, and you said, hey, nephew, do you have anywhere to live back home? And he says, no, my dad passed away. I'd be on the streets. He's under 21. You can do a special immigrant juvenile.
Okay.
Got to read between the lines. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's go to Killor in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. My daughter is here with me. She's 13. I'm a legal permanent resident. I want to file for her, but I've been listening to your program, and I want to know how would I go about proving legal guardianship?
You want to file for your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Why do you need to prove legal guardianship?
I thought that I may need a letter from her mother that she's actually going to live with me. Do I need something like that?
Where is she?
She's my daughter is here with me in Atlanta, but her mom is in Jamaica.
And you're going to file an adjustment application?
Yes, sir.
Just do it. No one's going to ask you for anything from the mother.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Colleen in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Wow.
Colleen. Colleen, you're
Hello.
up. You're
Hello.
up, Colleen.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm okay. I just wanted to let you know that I got my work permit, and your show helped me out a lot.
Oh, thank you very much. How did my show help you out?
Because I called you already and asked for advice, and you told me to send my documents off and stuff, and what to do.
Very good. Thank you for letting us know.
I
Feel good. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's all you wanted to say? She got her work permit, and she held on just to tell us from watching our show. You know how many people get help and we don't even know, right? Yeah. It's nice. All right, let's go to Raynalyn in Topenish, Washington. Raynalyn.
Hi, Brad.
Hi,
Good morning. I don't know. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi. I'm a speech pathologist on a J1 visa, and I'm on my 4th year now. And there is a school district other than my current employer who wants to hire me. Now they said that they can help me get an H1B visa. Great. However, sorry, say that again.
I said great so far.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. However, I'm afraid to sign a contract with a new school district because my J1 sponsorship might get revoked if they find out that I am aiming to get an H1B visa by applying to another school district. So if that thing happened, when they cut my sponsorship, should I apply for a tourist visa now so I can stay here in the United States?
I don't know how you're going to do an H1B because the cap season already started. So unless the school district has already applied for, for in the lottery for you, you may not even be in it anymore at this point.
Okay.
So that's issue number one. I don't know what to tell you because I'm not sure about the politics and the contracts between you and this particular school district. Probably would need a consultation. We'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. So basically, I just have to finish my contract with my current employer.
I think you need to have a consultation. We'll figure it out. Hold on
gotcha.
Hold on 1 second. All right. Abby in Alabaster, Alabama. Abby.
Hey, Fred.
How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Now I came here 4 years ago on a B1, B2 visa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I applied for asylum.
Uh-huh.
And I was married back in South Sudan.
Uh-huh.
And the marriage ended, and it was finalized last year, September.
Okay.
And then I got married to the current husband right now.
Okay.
But we got married in January this year, but I just learned, he has another family.
He has another family?
Family.
Meaning he's married to another woman, and you're in a bigamous marriage.
And a child, and I didn't know about it.
So he has 2 wives. You're the second wife.
Yeah, but I'm the one that is married legally because the other one is just, he told me she's just a girl, so that's why I did not tell you about it.
Okay. So now, what is your relationship with him? What's going on between the two of you now that you discovered this?
It's too cold, and I think I don't know the way forward, but I think I can't take it.
You're obviously hurt, and you guys are not going to be able to figure it out. Is there any abuse in the relationship? Is he physically abusive?
Emotional, yes, because the way after we got married, the communication will be only when there's something he needs from me.
Okay, well, does he yell at you? Does he scream at you? Does he manipulate you? Does he call you names? Does he use power over you? That would be forms of emotional abuse.
What he does, he just goes silent. Even if you say anything, he will never get back. It's a cold war. Let me put it that way.
All right. I'm not sure. Listening, maybe not, I don't know, that there's extreme and unusual emotional abuse. He's definitely a liar. There's no such thing as my husband lied to me, I still want to get a green card. There's only my husband was – emotionally abusive to an extreme level, or he was emotionally abusive to an extreme level. There's only my husband was emotionally abusive to an extreme level, or he was emotionally abusive to an extreme level. There's only my husband was emotionally abusive to an extreme level, or he was emotionally abusive to an extreme level. There's only my husband was emotionally abusive to an extreme level, or or physically abusive. It's possible that he's emotionally abusive to an extreme level, and it's not something we're going to go through and we're going to dig deep into your soul to get it out here on our show. You may want to have a consultation with me and we can figure it out. So hold on one second, okay? Let's go to Samantha in Queens.
Hello, good night, Brad.
How are you?
I'm okay. I filed for my daughter in Jamaica from 2015, and she did the fingerprint and the police record, and that was it. I don't hear anything more. Hello?
Say that again?
Yeah, she got, she do her fingerprints and her police record, and that was it. I don't hear anything more.
So you sent everything to the National Visa Center?
Yes, I did.
What is the priority date?
December 2020.
And you are a permanent resident?
I was a permanent
You're now a
resident.
citizen?
Yes.
Okay. When did you send everything back to the National Visa Center?
Last year.
When's last year? That last year could have been 3 months ago.
About last year, August.
Okay. Have you followed up with them?
No, I don't.
Okay. That would be step one. Say, hey, you got everything 6 months ago. What's going on? I'm a U.S. citizen. My daughter's under 21. She's immediately eligible for a green card.
She's over 21.
Oh, she's over 21.
Yes, it is.
Yesterday. But you became a citizen before she was 21.
No, right now she's 27.
1 second, I'm confused. So if you when did you file originally for her?
2020. Okay. 2015, sorry.
2015?
Yes, 15.
Okay. So when in 2015?
August 2015.
All right, so let's look at the visa bulletin because that's different than filed for 2020. All right. They're only up to December 1st, 2014, which is why nothing's happened. You got to wait for them to reach August 2015. So the priority date's not current yet.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, so do I have to wait or
yes.
do I?
You're at least 7, 8, 9 months away from them doing anything.
Okay.
All right, so hang in there. There's nothing anyone can do about it. Priority dates are priority dates.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And by the way, I was just reading, Joan Ambitious Powell is correct. Ding, ding, ding. She was a school teacher, so she is not under the H-1B cap. I'm glad you caught that, Joan Ambitious Powell. I forgot. She's correct.
Wow.
Sometimes I could be.
They got your back.
They got me though. Joan Ambitious Powell got me on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's correct. That is correct, Joan Ambitious Powell. Thank you for correcting me. All right. Where are we at?
Social medias? What's your social media handles?
Oh, yes. What's my social media handles? You can, if you drop me a DM at Real Brad Bernstein. If you drop me a DM at Real Brad Bernstein, I'll try to answer your immigration question as best as I can. You could also follow us at Bradshaw Live for the best 30 seconds of our show. You can also follow us at Bradshaw Live on TikTok. Leave your question. I'll try to answer it in a video directly to you that everyone can see.
And you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later in the show, I'm going to play a game of Bradified Marriage with Jessa Crispin and Nicolas Rodriguez, a couple who went from Tinder to I Do in 2 weeks. And they were preparing for their USCIS Stokes interview.
And now in this VIP outtake, Comic-Con 2021 attendee Carlos tells us what we can learn from comic book culture and why it especially resonates with him as a first-generation immigrant.
My parents actually grew up in Cuba, and they, experienced poverty, they experienced lack of democracy and right to express themselves, and, they left for a better life. I was actually born in Spain and then grew up in Florida, and I got to really see what it is, the struggle of being an immigrant, and seeing us, a family struggling as an immigrant family has really shaped why I'm an activist and why I fight. I fight because I don't want anyone to have to go through the struggle just to be a normal person. Everyone is human. Everyone deserves the same rights, the same opportunity to dream, to hope, to be happy, to have a family. It's something that is so important. A lot of the stories that we see, for example, like Marvel movies, it shows it's, Star Wars, it's a fight against fascism. It's a fight against forces that want to, take away people's rights, take away people's voices. So we have to keep using that voice. Democracy is not a sport, and rights are not guaranteed if you don't fight for it.
All right, social media check-in. Let's do it.
Akif Avrani, Facebook VIP member. My female friend is a widow and has a kid. Can her parents who have a green card sponsor her for the F2B visa category?
Yes, because she's single.
Tight T Hibbert, a Facebook VIP member. What's the process for your employer to petition for you?
Well, they have to do generally have to do a labor perm application for you, prove you're not taking a job away from an American worker, that you can do the minimum job requirements, you're getting paid the prevailing wage, they could afford to pay your salary, file an I-140 visa petition, and then hopefully you're eligible to adjust your status or get an immigrant visa in another country.
Ramiro Monroy on YouTube. How long are the green cards taken if you're renewing them?
I've seen them come in 12 weeks. I've seen some take 6-8 months.
Soblis on YouTube. My 5-year green card anniversary is on 8/29/22. Should I file for citizenship in May 2022 or July 2022?
90 days before 8/29/22.
Jasveer Singh on YouTube. My 601A waiver has been pending for 24 months. What should I do?
Which waiver?
601A waiver.
There's not a lot you can do because you can't threaten to sue them because it's totally discretionary on their part and they'll just deny you.
Clement Brown on Facebook. I filed an I-824 in December. How long will it take now to be approved? My son is in Jamaica.
That's to transfer the file to the National Visa Center. It's taken about 8-9 months.
Kenton Peters on YouTube. The USCIS approved my I-130 for an adult child and sent it to NVC. This child is in the U.S. as a F1. Is there a way to do an AOS, or does it have to still go through CPE?
Wait, say it again?
The USCIS approved the I-130 for an adult child and has been sent to the NVC. The child is in the U.S. as a F1. Is there a way to do an AOS, or does it still have to go through CP?
If priority date is current, file the adjustment.
Clean Heart Laddie Chromus on YouTube. I renewed my EAD card in advance parole. It was approved and I received it with a wrong middle name. What can I do?
You got to return it and then wait 9 months for the proper one. I just leave it. Don't worry about your middle name.
Okay, and Jonathan Emmanuel Pavuelo on Facebook. This could have actually gone on speed round.
What?
I'm just playing because it's very long.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm from Peru, living in the U.S. I was married to a U.S. citizen for 19 years. We have one boy, 18, one girl, 11. Their mother passed away 2 months ago, and I'm applying for humanitarian parole. I can't get a green card because of a cocaine possession charge, which was dismissed. But in 2018, the immigration judge granted voluntary departure. Do you think this is humanitarian parole will help me come to America and be with my daughter? At this moment, she doesn't have parents. I was in America with a tourist visa from 2001 to 2018, then left with voluntary departure.
You can, your issue is not the cocaine charge, it's that you have a 10-year bar. So you can't get you would do a widow petition, except you can't get a waiver. So try humanitarian parole. I don't know what you would do at this point. I would have to, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and last one, Dainty Gordon on YouTube. My husband is a U.S. citizen. He filed for my daughter in Jamaica last September. They said our case is in the U.S. state of New Hampshire. When should we get an interview in Jamaica?
Who did what?
A husband is a U.S. citizen and filed for the daughter in Jamaica last semester.
How old is the daughter?
September.
How old is the daughter?
Does not say.
Assuming the daughter is under 21, you're at the National Visa Center. It should be, I don't know where you are in the process, assuming you're documentarily qualified, hopefully 6 months, but Jamaica's taking forever. All right, yesterday I spoke with American-born writer Jessa Crispin and Colombian-born Nicolas Rodriguez, who married just 2 weeks after they met on Tinder and were filing for Nicholas's green card. They joined me for a game of Bradified Marriage as they prepared for their forthcoming Stokes interview. Could this loving couple pass the Bradified Marriage test? Let's watch. You met each other for 2 weeks, and obviously there had to have been adjustments made, and here you are 6-7 months later. You basically held hands, jumped off the cliff, and right now, knock on wood, you guys are very happy and grounded. So it's wonderful. One of the ways to make sure it works out is you got to pass your immigration interview. We have a game here that we play on our show sometimes called the Bradified Marriage. When you go on your adjustment interview, which will be in probably another 18, 20, 24 months, whatever it is, they're going to ask you questions that only a husband and wife living together would know the answers to. And they want to determine that you married for love. You didn't marry just to give this man a green card, or he didn't pay you to get a green card. One, they ask you questions about your living arrangements. And two, they want to know that you have an economic relationship together, meaning that you jointly commingle your income, and out of that income that you earn, that is commingled, you pay the debts of your marriage, whether it's taxes, credit cards, and that's how they determine whether or not this is a real legitimate marriage. That's the whole basis of this interview. That's what you're waiting on to get your green card. Now, many times you fumble through the interview or the officer thinks there's something fishy going on, they're going to separate you into 2 different rooms. I don't know, Nicholas, if you're familiar from Colombia, but I know Jessa should be familiar with a game back from the 1970s, a game show called the Newlywed Game, where they would literally put somebody in a soundproof booth and then ask newlyweds a question and see if the spouse can get the answer. In USCIS, they call this the Stokes Interview. They're going to separate you into 2 different rooms, and they're going to ask Jessa about, this is assuming you don't get through on the first time around, and I assume you will, and hopefully you won't get to this stage. But if you do, they're going to ask Jessa about 100 questions about your life and your lifestyle, and they're going to ask you about 100 questions. And then they got to match. And then sometimes they don't match, and then they bring you in and ask for an explanation. We like to call this the Bradified Marriage game. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask you about 4 or 5 questions that it's possible, because you never know what you're going to get at that interview. Now, we're not going to separate you into 2 different rooms, but I understand you have a pad and paper in front of you somewhere. And don't show your spouse what you're writing. And that's correct, right? We're going to then ask you to lift up the answer at the same time and see how well you, or not well, you guys are going to do. Now, I will say the last couple that we had on that did this, we know are in a legitimate marriage, and they only got 1 out of 5 questions right. So you ready to start?
Yes.
Okay. What was the last restaurant the 2 of you went out to, the name of it, and what did you eat for dinner? That is the question.
Okay.
All right. Nicholas, you ready?
Yes.
All right. So let's put up the paper. The name of the restaurant and what did you eat for dinner is?
It was some Italian place.
Italian place, veal, and Nicholas has no idea what he ate. But you're close. Oh, he said pasta? I just thought blank. All right. I give that. I give that to you. All right, 1 for 1. I give that to you. How many locks are on the front door of your apartment door?
Okay.
You ready? The answer is 3, and you say 2. You guys are not living in the same apartment. What was the problem?
One doesn't work.
We have one that does.
You have one that doesn't work. That's exactly what would happen, why somebody would screw up. That's a question that is 99% of the time always asked. And I've seen people screw up also because there's sometimes a lock, not a lock on the actual doorknob, and they don't count that sometimes as well. Before you go for your interview, and this is for everybody, not only you, but for everybody, you have to walk around your house and be aware of everything in that house. How many locks, colors of furniture, where the air conditioner comes from, where you turn on the heat. All of those questions on your daily, everyday life of living in the house, you're going to be asked specific questions about. Okay. 1 for 2. You ready? For question number 3. What time do each of you generally wake up for work in the morning? What time do you wake up, and what time does Nicholas wake up? So you can ask both times. All right, you ready? All right, what do we got? What time do you wake up? All right, 6:30 is him, 7 o'clock is me, and he has the same thing. Congratulations, right? He had the same thing. Congratulations. All right, so that's 2 out of 3. Okay. I would say that I'm going to give you 2 more questions. And if you pass these 2 questions, you got 4 out of 5 right. And the one you got wrong was kind of iffy. I would bratify the marriage and say you'll do fine. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, next question. What is the name of the toothpaste that you use in your bathroom currently? What is the name of the toothpaste that you use in your bathroom currently? And the answer is Colgate, him Colgate, me Tom's. Okay, all right, you got it. That's good, but at least you got Colgate. All right. What, you didn't know Tom's, Nicholas? No. All right, last question, but we'll give that one to you as well. We'll give that one to you as well. The last question. Tell me the names of your in-laws. What are the names of your in-laws? The first name of Nicholas's mom and dad, Jessa, you have to say that. And Nicholas, all right, and obviously, Nicholas, you also have to say the names of what your parents are so we can compare.
Okay.
Are you ready? The 4 names of the in-laws are, let's see, Kathy, Jim, Jamie, Emma, Jack, Kathy. All right, so you missed one somewhere. You got 3 out of 4. You didn't know one of them?
I didn't know. I don't remember his father's name.
His father's name. You guys knew enough. You would have passed. Thank you for playing. So I give you a pass, but there are little things like that screw you up, and it really depends on the immigration office. When I was a young lawyer, I went on a Stokes interview, and it must have been my first or second interview, and they asked the couple, what did you do for dinner last night? And the guy said he went to McDonald's, and the other woman said, we had hamburgers. And the officer said, no, you got that question wrong. I'm like, what, are you out of your mind? They ate hamburgers at McDonald's, and I went crazy. Okay? So sometimes you get officers who are literally want to see the same exact words because they got blinders on. So you really have to really think about it ahead of time before you go to your interview. You got plenty of time, but you did really well. I really appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you. And we look forward to hearing more about your relationship. It's really amazing. You guys met on Tinder in 2 weeks. You got engaged. A month later, you were already married and filing papers for your green card. Your entire lives have changed. It sounds like they've changed for the better. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on. All right, we have time for 10 more immigration questions and speed round.
Hopefully.
We've been 3 for 3 this week. Let's see how we do. Let's do it. Yo-Yo's sweating a little bit over there.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Why?
Because it's 10 and it's the end of the week. I want to end strong.
Okay, ready? Let's do it.
Can someone...
Go.
No.
Oh.
They're saying wait. They're saying wait.
Wait.
I'm getting counted down. Can someone get their visa after it's been revoked?
It depends why it was revoked.
Can my wife and I work while my son files for us?
If you filed an adjustment, yes.
My Vawa got approved. What's next?
File an adjustment.
Can my fiance file for a green card for me?
If you get married.
If you get denied a green card, can you reapply?
Of course.
Do we need to go through a CBP officer while returning from Puerto Rico on an F1 visa?
No.
I got an RFE for my birth certificate for an I-485. Will it impact my 765 processing?
Yes.
My wife has a green card through asylum. Can she travel with her country passport?
No,
with
she
her
can travel with her country passport, but not to our country.
Can I do the green card diversity lottery if in U.S. under F1?
Yes.
Done with Vawa fingerprint in November. How long for a work permit?
I don't know what your adjustment will be after a fingerprint. Was that the question?
Yeah. How long for a work permit?
Oh, I said I don't know what your adjustment will be. I was just trying to answer because you were fumbling on the question.
I felt it was going to happen.
Why did you feel that you weren't... I didn't answer the question.
It's a lot of words, y'all.
Blow us up.
Blow
I
us
didn't
up.
answer the question.
Nah. You're not celebrating.
I want you to know, sometimes it's me.
Nah, this time it was me.
You. I blame you.
This time it was me.
I blame you. You blew me up.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I felt it.
Why can't Nikki Forever Blessed love the show anymore? What'd we do to her?
I can't love... That's an under... I don't know.
I don't know what we do to Nikki Forever Blessed. I'm sorry, Nikki. All right, comments of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I was nervous, Daisy Brown. Very rare that happens to me. But
all right, comments of the day.
All right. First comment of the day. So Blessed saying, my favorite live show is on.
Aw, thank you.
All right, and second comment of the day. Tenwa Nathan saying, greetings, Brad and Yo-Yo, expressing gratitude, saying thank you for the show.
Oh, thank you. By the way, update on Nikki Forever Blessed. The show is too good to be true. Clap. I thought she was upset with us.
Oh.
And I said, what do we do to Nikki Forever Blessed?
She can't love it anymore.
Oh, I thought she was reading it. I can't love it anymore.
But now I can't love it anymore.
That's
because
different.
It's so much. Yes, okay.
I understand.
We get you now.
Thank
we were
you.
like, oh,
thank
what
you.
do we do?
Thank you, Nikki. I'm blowing her a kiss. I thought she didn't like us.
Okay.
I thought she didn't like us.
Yeah, I know. We felt bad for a second.
Okay.
All right, and our last comment of the day. Violet Blackwood saying, you will get all the immigration information on Uncle Brad's show from a pin to an anchor. That is how good it is. A best immigration show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, Judith Blackman, it's only her third time watching your show and love it.
Yay.
Thank you, Judith. We'll spread the word, Judith. Spread the word.
Do it.
All right. Friday's our day off, at least for Bradshaw Live.
Yes.
We'll be back live on Monday for Fuzzy Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And visit us now at our Connecticut office, 221 Main Street, Suite 501, Hartford, Connecticut. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.